Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody online, especially if you are somewhere that's not the United States. Then you're especially welcome. So, welcome everybody to Grateful Harmony. I'm on my knees because that's a good way to be at the start of a sacred concert, but also because I want to do a little ritual to open. So, some of you don't know that I have a very keen interest in psychotherapy. My background is person-centered counselling, and I wanted to train as a therapist. So what happens when a therapist and a minister meet? You end up with a ritual with empty chairs. So one of the things that Ben inspires in me is to sing to my ancestors, right? To make space around me and in my life. And so we're going to open this time. I'm going to get out the picture and I'm going to ask you guys to use your imagination. So this seat here, you're going to welcome your mother. Now maybe your mother's still alive, maybe you don't like your mother. This doesn't matter. She is a doorway into a great wisdom. And she's sitting right here in your imagination. And over here, this is a space for your father. You're going to invite him to come and listen to all the songs with you. And this is space for him. And especially if this is raw or maybe you've got used to the fact that your father and your mother are in spirit if they've died. Really call them to mind and welcome them here. And behind here are your father's dad and your father's mum. So these are your grandparents on your left side, and they're sitting right here. You're going to welcome them. Don't just rely on me doing it, because it won't be your prayer if you do that. And over here, this is your mum's mum and your mum's dad. And welcome them. They are your loving doorway into an incredible ancestral wisdom. And take a moment to look at your hands. In your body, right? You can see your hands and the lines on your hands and the shape of them. I know that I have exactly the same shape as my dad, including a little mole here that my mother has. I look just like my dad, a few of you know that. So your body was once their body. You were once in your grandmother's body as a little egg. Because when your mum was conceived, she had all her eggs in her ovaries. So in your body and your love, if you have that for your parents, is your gateway into this incredible wisdom. So today we are dedicating this concert to our ancestors. And so if you think that this is a good idea, on the count of 3, say welcome. 1, 2, 3. Welcome. Great, and we will say goodbye to them at the end. It's my great honor to invite Ben Bochner. Where is he? Come on up. Woo! Woo! So, 6 months ago, my friend Natavar, who's right here, phoned me up at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night and said, "Can you get this guy? Can he play tomorrow morning at church?" And I love spontaneous stuff. So I said, yeah, of course. And the next day, this random guy came and stood up and sang 2 songs that just blew me away. I have been thinking about them ever since. And the level of spiritual teaching and heart opening. And I was also able to join you in your prayer. I don't know if you meant it as a prayer, maybe you just meant it as a good song. No. Yeah. So would you like to sing a song for us?
Sure. First I want to say how happy I am to be here. It was such a wonderful experience last time. I felt so welcome and so much part of the community. So it was great to be back. I have to tell you, we were on the radio today, and I don't know if any of you heard it, but I was extremely inarticulate. And Simon was extremely articulate about my songs. And I was just like, oh, that's right. So I'm hoping to hear his commentary tonight and see where it leads. Truthfully, You know, a lot of times I don't know what I'm doing, and so it's nice to see it reflected back. And I go, oh yeah, that is what I was doing. Oh, I just realized now I'm going to have to do a really unprofessional thing and tune in front of you. Let's see if I can talk and tune at the same time.
Well, yeah, I can talk for you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, see this is
I
why
think we
have
need
two
to work
microphones.
together regularly.
You know, when you're a singer-songwriter on your own, it's a bit lonely. It's a little bit lonely. And thank you for sorting out the image. Yeah, we were on the radio and Phil asked you a really complex question. He sang a love song and he said, "Why is that sacred?" And you kind of bumbled your answer and gave me enough time to think about it. But it was great.
We're only on the radio.
Yeah, we're on the. I love being on the radio live. It's the best way to make sure you get ready. Ben's guitar is older than me. 1 year older than me. Wow.
I think I'm going to start off with a song that I wrote a long time ago, and I was lucky enough to grow up in Chicago, and when I was in high school, I got to go see John Prine, Steve Goodman, all these people. It was just around. It was just in rooms like this for 50 cents. It was kind of the time when, you know, Revolution was in the air, and I thought, oh, folk music. I never thought I could play guitar or anything. And I noticed John Prine one time wasn't moving his fingers too much, and I thought, oh, I bet I can do that. So anyway, this song is just kind of in the spirit of those guys. Let it go, she said, from across the room. What's this obsession of yours with doom and gloom? It wouldn't kill you, you know, every once in a while. Let go of the blues and let yourself smile. You're right, I admit it, as I picked at a scan. It's a strange fascination with pain that I have. But I'm a sensitive singer, songwriter, you know. And there's a tradition of sensitive guys must uphold. Poor baby, she said, show me where it hurts. You must need lots of loving in your line of work. All this tilting at windmills and exposing of frauds. Don't you ever get tired of doing battle with the gods? Let it go, she said, let it evaporate. Don't cling to what never was yours anyway. Let the sun burn it off, let the clouds roll away. Let it go, let it go, let it all drift away. Well, she worked on my neck, and it felt so good that I started to think that maybe I could break this habit of always looking on the negative side. Maybe reach for a star and take it for a ride. So I grabbed my guitar, I hit a G major chord, inviting sweet inspiration to come find me once more. I closed my eyes in a trance, I focused my mind on expressing a positive vision this time. And I sang about all of the things from the eyes of my daughter to the Chicago Cubs. But no matter the subject, the voice was the same. Though the voice dripped with honey, the words dripped with pain. Let it go, she said, let it evaporate. Don't cling to what never was yours anyway. Let the sun burn it out, let the clouds roll away. Let it go, let it go, let it all drift away. Your problem, she said softly, is you're addicted to pain. This image of yours is like a ball and a chain. You think that you must be punished for the fire you steal. But how much of your suffering do you think is real? She walked me over to the window, said, now just quiet your mind, leave all of your preconceived notions behind. Don't project your own thoughts, just describe what you see. You don't have to prove you're a poet when you are with me. Well, the sun was setting and the clouds pulled apart. The whole sky was unfolding like a great work of art. That's it, I cried, I want to capture this mood. If it was captured, she said, it wouldn't be any good. Let it go, she said, let it evaporate. Don't cling to what never was yours anyway. Let the sun burn it out, let the clouds roll away. Let it go, let it go, let it all drift away. Let it go, let it go, let it all drift away. Let it go, let it go, let it all drift away.
So what we're doing, we're going to play ping pong. I'm going to do Born. I did that on the radio earlier on today. So I didn't write this song. This is written by a band called Over the Rhine from Cincinnati. And I've played it so often that I forget that it's not mine. Same with DPs. Actually DPs I changed a lot. But Born, I haven't changed their song at all. It's a wonderful song. One of the things I love most about being a minister is companioning people through their rites of passage, and especially getting to be close to people in their grief is a very humbling experience. It's not just ministers. I'm looking at Lawrence and Amy, they do grief work too. Many counsellors and people do. But there's something so real about people when they're sharing that stuff. And this song just reminds me of what it feels like to sit down at table with people who's you're in the place of their children, because their children have died. And it's painful, but it's also a great honor when somebody trusts you enough to make space for you in that inner sanctuary. And that's what the song is about for me. Recently I was on tour and we played with a bunch of transgender people, and there's all these trans women who were like 6'2" and gorgeous, and two of them had just got married, and they had just stopped living on the streets, and they came up and they were crying their eyes out and just holding me really close. But it was because the song spoke to them really deeply. Here's the song. I was born to laugh. I learned to laugh through my tears. Please sing. And I was born to love, gonna learn to love without fear. If you're the one person that doesn't know it, it goes like this. 'Cause I was born to love, I learned to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love, I'm gonna learn to love without fear. So pour me a glass of wine, we'll talk late into the night. Who knows what we'll find? Intuition, deja vu, the Holy Ghost haunting you. Whatever you got, I don't mind. Ready? 'Cause I was born to laugh, I learned to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love, gonna learn to love without fear. I'll put my elbows on the table, then I'll listen long as I am able. There's nowhere I'd rather be. Sacred fears are supernatural. Thank God for this new laughter. Thank God the joke's on me. 'Cause I was born to laugh, I learned to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love, gonna learn to love without fear. So pour me a glass of wine, we'll talk late into the night. Who knows what we'll find? I'll put my elbows on the table, then I'll listen long as I am able. There's nowhere I'd rather be. 'Cause I was born to laugh, I learned to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love, gonna learn to love without fear. One more time. 'Cause I was born to laugh, I learned to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love, gonna learn to love without fear. You guys ever been in that place of tears where you thought you'd never laugh again? But you do. Sometimes just after crying too.
That's a beautiful song. That's not a song that you wrote?
Nope.
So I grew up in Chicago. I was surrounded by trains all my life. I never really noticed the sound of trains till I lived in Eugene. And I lived in Eugene now for about 30 years. And it just seemed like there's always the sound of a train in the distance. And I thought, I'm going to use this in a song one of these days, you know, because it's a sad sound, right?
Yeah,
the sound of a train is a sad sound. And I thought, why? Why is it sad?
It's not in the UK. Sticks to you.
Let me think about that for a second. See if it fits in with my thesis. Well, this is what I figured out about the sadness of the train in Eugene. Is that it was the sound of the beautiful trees being turned into lumber and being hauled away.
Yep.
And I realized, oh, that's the sound of like industrial civilization everywhere. That's the iron ore in Minnesota. And that's sound of the train is Mother Earth being cut into dimensional lumber and hauled off to the capitals of the empire. So, well, that is sad. So I held on to that idea for about a year. And then I realized that I realized what the other half of it was. And then I was able to put it in a song. And I'm not going to tell you what the other half was, but you'll see in a second. Okay, maybe do this without my glasses. Well, I was born in a shack along the railroad track. Looked in her eyes looked back, and we lived in a town made of beauty and pain, where they stripped and they shipped beauty away. You could feel the earth shake, you could hear the sky thunder as the loads rolled by, full of sweet smelling lumber, like a memory that rumbles through the back of my brain. Well, there was always a woman, and there was always a train. Well, I once had a sweetheart, hair like a willow. Her cheeks were like cherries and her lips were like pillows. When the war came, they shipped all the men overseas. And as she kissed me on the platform, tears ran down her cheek. Oh, but time rolls on, and it's hard to hold on. I came home from the war, and my darling was gone. I can still hear her crying in the wind and the rain. And it was always a woman, and there was always a train. Well, you do what you gotta do. You do what it takes. Life is made of scrap metal, spare parts and duct tape. It's just an ache in my heart, oh, it's hard to explain. But it was always a woman, and there was always a train. Well, I married a girl and I worked in the mill. She planted wild roses, the kind cold cannot kill. We drew lines on the wall where the children were growing. And at night I was listening for that train whistle blowing. Then the interstate came, and the mill was shut down, and the last load of lumber rumbled through town. Now the children are gone, Oh, but her roses were made. And it was always a woman. Yeah, it was always a woman. Yeah, it was always a woman. And there was always a train. Yeah, it's always a woman. And there's always a train.
Yeah, so what do we do about the species that are disappearing in the trees and the favorite places? And oh, I've got two songs, two answers to that question in song. But the first one is that you open your heart to feel it, and you don't go numb. You don't switch off and just be like, we're all doomed. It's a very Scottish thing. We're all doomed. Might as well just go have a whiskey. That's not the answer.
You would make a great curmudgeon.
I'm in training to be a curmudgeon, maybe. Actually,
Is that like the male version of the crone?
yeah. Except for a crone is a bit wiser. A curmudgeon is just grumpy. Amy, I feel sad doing the song without you, so maybe we could just sing along from over there. So what do we?
I've still got a lost voice. So
Oh yeah, well then all the more reason for me to be up here. This is a song that I love to sing with Amy, about just stretching wide the heart to fill everything in there. And I didn't practice it, but I brought it. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Oh, I didn't write this one either. This is by the Voil. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring the little fishies, bring the sharks, bring them from the brightness, bring them from the dark. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring them from the caverns, bring them from the heights, bring them from the shadows, stand them in the light. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring them out of paradise, bring them out of the storm, bring them out of hiding, lay them out of my door. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring the unforgiven, bring the unredeemed, bring the lost and nameless, let them all be seen. Bring them out of exile, bring them out of sleep, bring them to the portal, lay them at my feet. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. Bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all in, bring them all into my heart. remember the first time we did that here on a Sunday morning. It was when Working Song had been here, and Lawrence was still and Amy, and there was loads of people, and we just rocked it. And I was newly here as the music minister, and it was great to see everybody like go, whoa. And there's a guy here who calls himself a recovering Presbyterian minister. He's not here tonight. He's a sweetheart. And he came up to me afterwards and he said, "Do you know that I've been a minister my whole life? I have never heard a song like that in a church before." He said, "That's the most powerful hymn I've ever heard."
So there's one interest, not one interesting. I thought of this explanation for why Mother Earth is being crucified the way she is. Mm-hmm. Anybody ever read Teilhard de Chardin? Ever hear that writer? Mm-hmm. Do you know what his theory is? His theory is that all of technology is created so that the Earth will be one unit, mm-hmm. so that when Jesus comes back, he'll be able to talk to everybody. So all this burning, all of this tumult is to make the earth one place. Well, you know, it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Make the human earth one place.
Yeah, well, it would be nice if like the technology was training wheels, right? And then someday we get to drop them.
Yeah. That's good.
So it's one of the pleasures of my life to be around people who have been bringing songs from the ancestors to the present day. And my songs are not quite in that same let me put it this way. So I had a dream that all religion is just boiled down to the fact that ancestors like to be sung to. And so I thought, well, okay, now it's my turn to write one of these songs. And I tried to write that song. I couldn't do it because I couldn't use the word ancestors in a song. It just didn't feel
It doesn't come out really well.
No, it's three syllables,
Yeah.
whatever. But then I had this great thought that there's a really great slang word for ancestors that everybody gets, which is God. So then I wrote this song. I'll show you the chorus, and you can enjoy it when it comes around. It goes, God just like it when the people sing. God just like it when the people sing. That's right. God just like it when the people sing. God just like it when the people sing. Something to be said for a simple chorus. Well, there's a preacher in the pulpit, he's talking about sin. Say you better not let that devil in. God up in heaven, he just gets bored. You know, it's heard all that BS before. Still go to church, just one thing. That's right. God just like it when the people sing. 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 Well, there's an old man reading from an ancient scroll. Every word light a candle down in his soul. Got the music of the spheres inside his mind. You know, a good translation is hard to find. All you can try to do is find a harmony. God just like it when the people sing. God just like it when the people sing. God just like know they give the world its saddest sound. Like a beast of burden is chained right there. A little song make it easier to bear. Yeah, the blues is the soul of many things. God just like it when the people sing. 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 Well, all over this world, people worship and pray. Must be about 100 million ways. Well, now, any way you do it, that's okay. Yeah, I wonder what the kids call it these days. We used to boogaloo and shing-a-ling. Yeah. God just like it when the people sing. 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 He don't care about your creed or your particular thing. No. God just like it when the people sing. 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 That's right. God just like it when the people sing. 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 People sing.
Wait, I want to tell you about it. So you sang that song, and I was like, why do I ever why do I ever preach? I should just shut up and sing. I'm like, yeah. Why, it's so true. It's so, I've been thinking about that song for months and probably for years.
Well, I started thinking the opposite this today on the radio. When you were able to dissect my songs.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I love about I'm going to point this towards you just in case you want to. One of the things I really love about the singer-songwriter and the folk tradition is their songs about being human, right? And it's about our collective journey, and you can just relate to it. You can just plug in and put yourself in that person's seat, and it's just we write our own really deeply personal. Like some of the songs I write, I'm going, nobody's ever going to want to hear that. And then I play it to Amy, and Amy's like, oh my God, you have to record this and share it with the world. And I'm like, yeah, but why would anybody want to listen to a song like that? But it's it's such a universal language. So of course that would be beyond human. The song would be universal. My dog loves it when the word dog's a bit like God.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my ancestors, I think they're singing along.
Yeah.
I think so. So thank you. That's such an amazing job. We can all go home now. I'm just going to check that the sound is on. Yeah.
And your preaching is awesome, Simon.
Oh, thank you. I'm actually preaching tomorrow. Yeah, not here. Oh, sorry, Unity people. I'm being unfaithful to you again. Pam is here, and there's other wonderful musicians who'll be here. I'm going to North Kitsap Unity there to bless their new buildings. I am the person that they wheel in for ritual, which makes me so happy. I love ritual. You will find out we're going to be doing a ritual soon. Actually, maybe we should jump into that right now. So Kathleen has probably not enough pieces of paper, so we might need to get some more. But I have over here in my trough that the sea gave me, I have some compost. Right? Why do I have compost? Because Right, so I've got you to look at your hands. We are the living expression of a big lineage of love and wisdom. And we are alive right now at the time of planting seeds. The equinox, yesterday was water day. So for me right now, this is a real time of putting seed into the universe and letting that prayer manifest as it will. So my suggestion to you, if you would like to join in this ritual, is to write one word on your little piece of paper. Pam, there's a purple piece of paper up here for you specially. I put to put one word in, and then to plant it into the potting soil over there. And if you're at home and you want to do this, yeah, I've got one up here. So I am not. I don't think this has to be a private thing. My word is clarity, because I can waffle. You know, I can be incredibly articulate, and then I can waffle for a long time. And you know, there's something really important about being concise in our intentions and in our communication, and not just like being fuzzy. So I'm going to fold this up, and I'm just going to place it in the soil, and tonight I'm going to go home and fish out all your words and put them actually in the compost. So if you want to join this ritual, this is a time for really setting an intention for yourself, for what how do you want to become? How do we grow into our fullness? One word, one intention at a time. All right, why don't we sing a chant? I have a hunch that we are infinitely more beautiful and powerful than we could ever begin to imagine. Our ego just keeps us as we are. I didn't write this one either. I am. question for you. How do we make our prayers more sincere, more beautiful, more powerful, less wishy-washy and, oh, I don't know if this is really what I believe, or is this really going to happen? Take the risk of being wrong and mean it with your full heart. Just sing your prayer. What else?
Do it more often.
Yeah, repetition. What else can we do to bring that into clarity, to bring it into focus?
Say outside.
Say it outdoors. Yeah, I say my things to trees out loud.
Get still.
Get still. Yeah. I love that. For me, one of the things is being in the season, being aware of where we are in the circle of the year, the turning of the planet, where we are in our life, becoming really aware of our embodiment, our life. Any others?
All the elements.
Remember all those chairs sitting behind me, all the different rows going back?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you want to hear a really cool story? I did archery last week. My father-in-law decided to do archery with me and Lyndon. And we did it the first day, and we were rubbish. One of my arrows went into the lake, and none of them hit the target. So the next day, and also I pulled muscles way down here in my bum that I didn't know I had. And I'm like, archery. I'm sure there's some of my ancestors that know how to do archery. I obviously don't. So the next day we're setting up, and Lyndon goes first, and she's just as rubbish as she was before. And I'm like, all right, I have to do something. And I'm like, ancestors, you know how to do this. There must be somebody back there that used to be an archer. And I picked up the bow and I went, and I did 3 of them, and one of them went straight in the bullseye. The one next one went right next to it, and I was like, whoa, this works, and then I lost it. Then my ego came in, and they were in the lake again. It was so cool. Yeah.
Wow. Sweet.
Yeah.
But they liked being asked.
I heard it once said, you know how you always hit the target and never miss. You shoot first, and whatever you hit, call it the target.
Words of wisdom from Johnny.
So my dad turned 90 last year, and he threw a party for himself, and he asked me to play some songs, and I did. And this was in a Greek restaurant in Chicago, and I guess my dad drank some wine that night, and I also guess that the songs that I sang, he said that it inspired him, and he got up and he gave this speech. It was a beautiful speech. I've never heard my dad give a speech before, and my mom died in 2005, and he's found another wonderful partner, and so he started to speak to Elaine, his new partner, and he got really romantic about it, and at one point he leaned into the mic and he said, "When I met this woman, I felt such a heat in my bowels." And then everybody cracked up, of course. And you can see her going, 90-year-old man, heat in the bowels. That's a good thing. Anyway. I wrote this song for my dad. There's some scary things in this old world. There's grizzly bears and there's big bad wolves. There's snakes that slither, bees that sting. But we ain't ain't scared of none of them things. I'll hold your hand, you'll hold mine. We'll make it back by dinner time. Might get lost, but we won't be alone. We'll be walking each other back home. We'll be walking each other back home. We'll be walking each other back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. Well, now the reason for fighting I never did get. Something about a nuclear threat. When the bullets start flying, well, you tend to forget. Everybody thinks they're on their own. We lost some real good friends on that battlefield. All in all, it was a pretty rough deal. Turns out none of that stuff was even real. And now we're walking each other back home. We're walking each other back home. We're walking each other back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. And I remember how strong your hand felt in mine. You were like a tree that I could climb. I loved you, you loved me. We were twined together in eternity. Now your hand is feeling small, but our love has grown so big and tall. There's a beautiful light cutting down through it all. And we're walking each other back home. We're walking each other back home. We're walking each other back home. We're walking back home. We're walking back home. We're walking back home. We're walking back home. Everybody needs some help along the way. A friendly smile, a kind word to say. Why, it happened to me just the other day. I was feeling so alone. A little boy came and took my hand. Finally made me understand. Every child, every woman, and every man, we're all walking each other back home. We're all walking each other back home. We're all walking each other back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. Walking back home. Yeah, we're all walking each other back home. We're all walking each other back home. We're all walking each other back home. We're walking back home. We're walking back home. We're walking back home. We're walking back home.
What a beautiful song. One of the things I've been thinking about a lot this week is father hunger. One of my teachers that I'm learning from a lot at the moment, I've never met, a wonderful guy called Richard Rohr, a contemplative Franciscan father. And he does a lot of men's work stuff, and he talks a lot about father hunger and puts his spiritual, lofty, contemplative stuff in the context of our society and where we're at, and the work he does in prisons. And I've been thinking about this because I've had a bit of a wake up this past 2 weeks around what am I doing with my life? What am I, am I actually honouring my calling and my sense of being a monastic out in the world, or am I just like getting busy? Right? So I've been thinking a lot about the work that I do, and one of the things I do is 2 days a week I work with teenagers. Seems to be more of them all the time. And I, like today, I gave driving lessons to a young man who's 17 because he wanted to learn to drive a manual. And it feels like the easiest thing in the whole world. And I think maybe 2 weeks ago I would have been like, it's no big deal. And then I think about it in terms of father hunger and our world and the rampant, unhealthy, dualistic masculinity that's running the country right now. And I think, how do I respond to that in my own life? I'm going to give driving lessons to this young man that has very different religious views than I do. And we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about how to change gears and how not to stall the car. Because we are exactly walking each other. That's what it's about. We're growing our heart and we're in this together. And we need to do everything that we can do to do that. Lucky I had a very loving father. What's your relationship with your dad?
Great.
Yeah, my dad was busy a lot in my childhood. He always loved me very dearly, and as an adult he's been really close to me, and he's the person that really inspires me to be patient, unbelievably patient, and gentle, and not fly off the handle like my mum does. my mother does amazing stuff. Like she knows all the Syrian refugee families, and she has them over, and they do sewing bees, and my mother does amazing stuff. And if you combine that with my dad's gentleness, I think our planet's going to be okay. So if I can embody that as much as I can and pass that on, that's my work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. Yeah, it's kind of weird to... Sometimes I think about ancestor stuff for the people that are still alive. Because that's a bit more complicated, isn't it?
Can I say something about
Yeah,
that?
please do.
I don't know how. That's right. I don't know how close you guys are following the Trump thing, but the other day there was this thing where they came out. He was supposed to read something off of a card that he didn't read. He called Putin on the phone, and they gave him a card and said, "Do not congratulate Putin." Right? And so of course he congratulated Putin.
Yeah.
But the thing that struck me, and I mean, I'm totally sucked into this soap opera, the Trump show, and I watch Rachel Maddow every night. I mean, and also I'm humbled as anybody who tries to write. It's like if you try to write fiction, you're just totally humbled by Donald Trump. It just drops out of his ass, and it's you can't match it, So he's an idiot savant, is what he is. He's a novelist. He's like the greatest novelist of all time.
I wish he was writing romance novels instead of running the country.
Well, tune in Sunday night, you'll hear about the romance. But this is so. I read the thing about him. The reason that this came out was that somebody very close to him obviously leaked this to the newspapers. Like, Trump didn't do what he was supposed to do. And you could see how embarrassing it was. And I had this feeling in the pit of my stomach that I've had before with Trump, which is that, how things are not what they appear to be, even in your own life, like things turn up, like you read Iron John or something, and something gets buried in the earth and it turns into something else. I realized that, out of all the personalities that I've ever heard of or known, that Donald Trump was so extremely shamed by this. That the thing that drives this man is shame. And we're in this weird cycle where we love shaming him. It's like he's this beast in a cage, right? And he's a complete jerk. It's in his pores of his DNA. And we go, let's see what he does. Right? And it's like the most dangerous experiment that's ever been done, because this man is totally weak, totally full of shame. And we keep shaming him and shaming him and shaming him until what? What do we expect him to do? Like, that's the weird game that we're all playing right now. It's like fun and games, when you read about it in the paper or on TV. But how do we break the cycle of I can't do it because I hate this guy. I hate and I love making fun of him.
And what do we become in doing that?
Right. Exactly. That's like this weird game that we're all sucked into right now. It's like so delicious to do it because he deserves it, right? And yet there's nobody who can stop him, right? And we just keep, it's like, will he bomb Nova Scotia? Will he bomb Nova Scotia? Or you know what I'm saying? It's like crazy. Just somebody's going, that button's been sitting there the whole time. Right?
And that's so wait a minute. Why not surround this person with the most love you can give him? Even if you hate him, surround him with a love. And maybe, just maybe, a good church.
Thank you, Teresa. I went and did a Native American dance. You guys remember that in October. And one of the songs we were singing was about a little boy. And we had the two, North Korea and America, the people sitting on top of the tree, we were dancing around. And this song really allowed me to see both the leaders as young boys with big smiles on their face. And whenever I'm really struggling, I go back to that memory and I will dance with them in my mind and pray and send them a huge amount of love. It's very difficult for me to do it for them as adults, but if I go back in my mind, that's my doorway. I also bless their houseplants for some really weird reason.
A number of years back, when George Bush was president, a lot of people were in a lot of turmoil over that. The psychic children said, please pray for George Bush. Send him blessings instead of hatred, because you're going to feed that. And so they came back on a week later and they said, we understand you're having a really difficult time with your assignment. So we have an idea, which is imagine him as a child.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Picture him as a child.
She is.
And send him, and I saw this little 5-year-old boy that didn't want to become all the things he was being programmed. And he knew he didn't necessarily have the gifts, but he was so adorable. And I just felt such empathy for the expectations around this little soul. And so from that point, I could bless him then, and then over time, I grew him up to be blessing. And I did the same thing recently around Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because I tried to go back and I went back to like that 5-year-old child, and I still felt that bully energy and that anger and that angst. And I ended up going back for the first time in my life doing this kind of work to someone just before they took their first breath. And it was just before he took that breath, he was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be doing what? And in that moment, I thought, he stepped into this, and I had to go all the way back to that place to just be able to hold him in my arms with tender love like a mother for a child. But I had to go back before. So he came in with energies that are here for all of us to work with, and I'm still working on going from that child all the way up to the adult. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. I have moments, but it was really interesting to do that, and I thank the psychic children for saying, shift your vision a little bit, but I still sit there, as Lane knows, and if the television's on, I can get fully into the problem. But I'm working on it.
Yeah.
You can almost see him as like this perverted Calvin and Hobbes character. Like, Donald Trump races into the building to save the little children, and everybody goes, ah, ah, ah. He doesn't race into any building,
He
right?
needs a Hobbs.
Who is this Hobbs?
He needs a loving,
Oh, that's
awesome
true.
Hobbs.
Yeah, he does.
Like, yeah.
So I'm going to steal this because this is wonderful. It's not at all what I expected in a conversation about the ancestors. And maybe that's why we called them here, because we needed their help. One of the chants that I use in this time, in this political time, is a Julian of Norwich one. So Julian of Norwich, as this, she was a mystic from England a long time ago. And the phrase that she's most well known for is, "All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well." And we can use that to just be wishful thinking. But if you look at her journals, she argues with God, and she wrestles with God about this. And she says, "God, how can all be well? What about her?" So I just changed that. God, how can all be well? What about him? And in the midst of everything that is wrong is a very powerful energy to make everything right. All shall be well. All shall be well. Didn't write this one either. All manner of things shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. All shall be well. All shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. Shall be well. Be still and know that I am love. Be still and know that I am love. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still and. Be still. Be still. Be still and know that I am truth. Be still and know that I am truth. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be still. Be still and know that I am love. Be still and know that I am love. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still and. Be still. Be still. Dear ones, we're going to have a little break. And if you're interested in Ben's CDs, they're right up next to mine. And yeah, I have a new CD out. It's only got one of my songs on it. But that last one is mine, right? And that's the song that's on the CD. Let me show you. Let me show you this. Oh. So, yeah, this is brand new. I didn't even make this. They just sent me some. Right, so I've started getting commissioned by these wonderful people in Ireland. And this is a compilation CD. It's called The Soul Slow Ripening, Songs for Celtic Seekers. There's a lot of Celtic seekers in this congregation. And I am, what did they put me down? I think they made me, I can't remember which saint they decided I was. St. Coleman. So I've only got one song on there, but I have them over there if you'd like to buy it. There's lots of lovely songs on there. We're going to have a break, and please come up and talk to us. We'll be about 15 minutes, so go make yourself a cup of tea and come back. Oh, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the camera, but Mike, you can do that too. Mike, go make yourself a cup of tea. Yeah, you're sitting right behind the camera. Thank you everybody online for listening, and everybody here. We will be back. If you need to run away early, give us a hug first. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. This is such a fun way to do a show, to just have a conversation with you guys. It's really fun.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, Ben.
Hi, Simon.
Do you have a song? Oh, that one's mine. That one was also mine. I'm actually singing some originals.
Maybe I should sing a cover. Well, I was going to do a cover.
You don't have to.
I know I don't have to. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll do a cover later. Is Amy still here? Left, huh? Well, I'll sing a song that...
Sure. She's here.
Oh, she's here. Well, maybe I just wait till she comes back to do this song. And I'll tell you, so this is a song that I wrote, and then one night I heard Amy and a young woman named Ida Rado at Singing Alive singing this song, and it made me cry.
Singing your song.
Yeah. But maybe I'll wait till Amy gets back to do this.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, which is, it's pretty amazing when you hear people singing your songs, especially when they're as talented as Amy Winkle.
Oh my God.
But it's one of those moments where you're like, okay, I could die now. Pam recently was talking about in a sermon the two most important days in your life. It was you that was talking about this. One is the day you were born, and the second is the day that you know why you were born. And Art was talking about how I seem to seamlessly be up here sharing why. You notice Art's never seen me do this before. Thank you. And it's very humbling to have a thing that you get to do that grows our hearts, and then other people pick it up and it grows their hearts, and they infuse it with a whole lot of depth of meaning. And that's not just musicians that do that. It's you with your beautiful ears and your wisdom and your heart wisdom, listening to the song really creates an energy in the room. And you feel it, have you ever talked to somebody and they're not really listening? It's really hard to finish your sentence. It's kind of like that when you're up on stage and everybody's just like... You just want to get off. You want to play your song as fast as possible, get off. And when people are leaning in with their ears and their hearts, I play better.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful thing. And you guys paid money to come and do this with us, so thank you. Yeah, and for people that gave donations, thank you. We get to do this.
It reminded me of one time I was playing in Texas. I was playing in Dallas. Dallas is a weird town. And I was playing at the Wildflower Folk Festival, and they put me on a stage where next to me were some Blues Brothers imitators, and the other side was some racing car thing, and it was like impossible. I was playing on pavement, and I played a couple songs. And if you ever want proof of the relativity of time, get up on stage where it's not going well. It's like 45 minutes can be an eternity. So anyway, I played a couple songs, and then I committed like the sin that no professional musician is ever supposed to do.
Stairway to Heaven?
Not quite that bad. This is the second worst sin. I just got off the stage. I just said, I'm not doing it. I just walked away. And the people who were sitting, there was a really rude table of people who had been just laughing and goofing off doing everything I was trying to do. And I was walking away and I had the guitar on. I said, where are you going? And I said, would you like me to sing you a song? And they go, yeah. And I said, well, would you be quiet for, like one song? And so I just stood at the table and I sang them a song. And they got really into it. And, and then the crowd gathered because of that, and I got back up on stage. Because if I'd gotten off that stage, I would never be allowed back in Dallas, I'm sure.
And that's really a beautiful story. I was playing at Pride in Bremerton this past summer, and there's the dance stage. And it's like boiling hot, and they put me out in this sun trap. This concrete, it's just awful. This is just a bad idea. So about, I don't know, maybe 200 foot away, there's some trees, and there's people hanging out under the trees. So I'm looking up there, and there's a few stall holders, and I'm like, just find one person to sing to, right? So I found this dog and this person, and then they got up and went away.
Wait. The dog left?
The dog and the people, yeah, they left. And then I looked round, and there was these really cute people smiling their face off at me. And they came up afterwards, and it was a young man who was 16 young. He said, I'm a trans guy, I've never met another transgender man. And they gave me money, they put it in my pockets. And it was just so beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful and really an incredible moment. So sometimes you just plough through, but I always find if I have one person, and when I used to play outside the co-op, I would sing to the birds. It was a lot of, right? And if I managed to do it, there was something about the whole kind of, you're there for 5 hours, there's no other way that you can make any money, right? It's cold, and you have to sing your song, and if you're grumpy about it, nobody's going to give you money. But if you manage to connect to the birds and really sing to them, then somebody will get hooked in. And then somebody will come shopping and leave their dog, and if you've got a dog tied up next to you, you make more money. Unless it's howling. If the dog's howling, you don't make any money. But if the dog's just sitting there quietly, people give you money.
So you find if you tie the dogs up, they will stay.
Yeah, except for it was their owners tying the dogs up. They would let me. Excuse me, can I borrow your dog? Yeah. So, but we're going to go on. Maybe we didn't come back.
No.
That's a lovely little segue about finding people to play to and entering into the connection.
I'll just tell you that Amy does this song much more beautifully than I do. Whether she sings it with Amy Kelly or with Ida Rado, that's the two I've heard. So just this is my version of it. She may come running back in. Will you come and see me in the springtime, love? In the springtime, love, when my leaves are turning green. Will you come and see me in the springtime, love? In the springtime, love, yes, and spend some time with me. Yes, I'm coming right away. There's nothing in the world that can keep me away. Yes, I'll come and see you in the springtime, love. Springtime, love, when your leaves are turning green. Lie, 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 lie. Will you come and see me in the summertime? The summertime, when my sap is flowing strong. Will you come and see me in the summertime? In the summertime, yes, and sing for me a song. Yes, I'm coming right away. There's nothing in the world that can keep me away. Yes, I'll come and see you in the summertime. In the summertime, when your sap is flowing strong. Lie, 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 lie. Will you come and see me round harvest time? Harvest time, when my fruit is on the ground. Will you come and see me round harvest time? Now harvest time, all my branches hanging down. Yes, I'm coming right away. There's nothing in the world that could keep me away. Yes, I'll come and see you round harvest time. Now harvest time, all your branches hanging down. Lie, 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 lie. Will you come and see me in the winter time? In the winter time, when my arms are cold and bare. Will you come and see me in the winter time? In the winter time, yes, and build a fire there. Yes, I'm coming right away. There's nothing in the world that can keep me away. Yes, I'll come and see you in the winter time. In the winter time, when your arms are cold and bare. Lie, 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 lie. Will you come and see me when I'm in the ground? I'm in the ground and no trace of me is found. Will you come and see me when I'm in the ground? I'm in the ground, pretty Yes, I'm coming right away. There's nothing in the world that can keep me away. Yes, I'll come and see you when you're in the ground. You're in the ground, pretty flowers all around. Yes, I'll come and see you when you're in the ground. You're in the ground, pretty flowers all around. Pretty flowers all around. Lie, 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 lie. I guess you've heard it when we do it. We're singing along.
It's your song, but it's
So good.
her responsibility. We know the words.
Oh
to
my
it.
gosh. Such a wonderful song.
Do you wanna? What does it mean to you? I mean, you've adopted his song.
What? Oh gosh, I'm sad I missed to hear what he said about it.
What do you-
said Amy and Amy sing this really well. Where's Amy?
And then he said, "This is my version of their song."
I think the thing that it means for me is it's verbalizing the promise I want to keep with the natural world. Anytime I'm actually spending time in the living, breathing, faithful natural world, anytime I'm faithful to it, I'm faithful to all the dearest loves in all of my relationships as well. So I love that it seems to meld seamlessly with the thought of being faithful to our human relationships too, which is something that I feel in my mind I always struggle with, being faithful and consistent. And so it feels good to sing a song where I can play that out.
When I heard you and Ida singing it, I remember when I was just crying. It was so beautiful.
Well, it's
You know, I told you guys about. I saw like John Prine was what got me singing. One thing I was sure of when I was a kid is I couldn't sing, and so John Prine is like it's like the bar is low.
The songs are
So the songs are great, but he doesn't. It's like you look at him and you go, I think I could do that, you know.
Yeah.
And
Greg Brown, Tom Waits.
yeah. So I never aspired to beauty. I thought, well, I'll just sing the songs, whatever my voice is. And so to hear it so beautiful, you guys, like when you and Amy do it, it's so beautiful. When you and I did it, it just, I don't know.
It feels good to shine it back to you, Ben.
Yeah, it sure felt good to get it shined back.
One of my favorite teachers from seminary would always say that beauty is a true expression of the divine. And I think about sacred geometry and nature and how perfect it is, and us meeting creation by writing such a beautiful song, and then hearing other people reflect that back with harmonies. I can understand why you were crying your eyes out. You must have turned too much.
I did. Well, beauty's always been a thing that I never thought I could aspire to. I could do writing, I could and stuff.
That's interesting because I would describe you as a beautiful man.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful heart and you write beautiful songs. Okay, I'll stop.
Do something now.
Yay, we're piling it on the thing.
Can I sing a song about spring?
No.
Okay. He's getting us all back now. I really related to what Amy was just saying about, well, I don't know what you're really saying. I can tell you what I heard.
Like we always do.
Yeah. And one of the things that I heard was that you're talking about singing of your place on this earth in these seasons and reflecting on your life and using that to strengthen being a human being.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, I love singing songs about the seasons and picturing it. And I also really, really love to picture home. Like when I sing Deep Peace and when I sing a lot of the songs from home, I really visualize it and try and sing that through my heart and voice out to you. And this is my favourite of all Scottish traditional songs. It's called Gloomy Winter is New Awa. Oh yes, a lot of us here who loves it too. You won't understand.
What was the last word there? You just said?
New Awa.
Now away.
Oh, Oh, cool.
Earlier on, Natamara was like, what is that Scottish word that's it? Fadahuga. Father hunger. Yeah. So, but this is in Scots, and Scots is a very strong dialect. It's about 150 years old, by Robert Tannahill, set to a lovely fiddle tune. We do sad really well in Scotland. Gloomy winters no more, soft the western breezes blow, among the birks and Stanley shaws, the mavis sings full cheerio. Sweet the crawflower's early bell, decks Gleneffer's dewy dell, blooming like thy bonny cell, my ain myrtle stereo. So come, my lassie, let us stray o'er Glenkinnach's sunny braes, and blithely spend the golden day, miss joys that never weary. Towering o'er the Newton woods, lavricks fan the snow-white clouds, and silver sods with downy buds adorn the banks every round the silver fairy nooks, feathery brackens fringe the rooks, beneath the bray and burnie chooks, look a thing is cheerio. But trees may bud and birds may sing, flowers may bloom and verges spring, but joy to me they cannot bring, unless we, my dearie, oh, unless we, my dearie. Soft the western breezes blow, among the birks and Stanley shows, the thrush sings full cheerio. Sweet the crawflower's early bell, it decks Gleneffer's dewy dells, blooming like thy bonny self, my ain, my carefree lassie, oh. So come, my lassie, let us stray o'er Glenkinnan's sunny braes, and blithely spend the golden day, midst joys that never weary, oh, midst joys that never weary, oh. So my love for the natural world gets to just sing out. There's so many beautiful weeping willows with dowdy buds and thrushes and songlarks, and it's just such a beautiful piece of poetry. For you poets out there, thank you. You make the world so much better. We're spring.
And you're wonderful.
Thank you. I didn't write that one either.
You did a very nice interpretation, though.
I've lost track of needing to catalog such things.
We didn't lose too many people, Simon.
I know. It must mean we're doing okay.
I guess so.
Oh, thanks, you gave us a break.
I wanted to talk to people and hug them. So I'm going to take a little moment to plug future Grateful Harmony. So Grateful Harmony came along because I drove over this here guitar with my truck and destroyed it, and then that man over there, James, helped me rebuild it. And this congregation of beautiful souls gave me the money to do it. So I decided I want to do a concert for them, and it's going to be a Grateful Harmony, and then it turned into a huge series. So now we have like one every month. And this is Ben Bochner, who came all the way from Eugene just for this. So in April, Lawrence Cole is going to be my guest. It's the last Thursday in April. And then in May, I'm in Scotland, so you're on your lonesome. And in June, Amy Kelly's going to join me. this dream and this gratitude is flowing out. And thank you for your donations and for supporting this church as this wonderful human being. On with the music.
So is it usually Thursday?
No, it suits whoever is coming.
Oh, depending on.
Yeah, because we've got out-of-town musicians, and both Amy Kelly and Lawrence like Thursdays for some reason. So it's happening on a Thursday next.
Today is Friday, yeah.
So after I play this song, Simon's going to tell you why it's sacred. It was the winter of the ice storm. Power was out all over town. Let me start that again. It was the winter of the ice storm. Power was out all over town. Bare branches in the frozen wind, icicles hanging down. We built a shelter in my living room. Fire glow dancing on your face, till we fell asleep in each other's arms, just dreaming of a warmer place, a warmer place, a warmer place. With your gypsy smile and your warm embrace, yeah, you walked into my living room, lit a fire in my fireplace, and you made my world a warm place. Well, the trees, they look like chandeliers. The world just stopped for a couple of days. We shared a couple of laughs, a couple of meals, just a couple of castaways. Somehow it was easy, somehow it was good. You tending to the fire, me tending to the firewood. A warmer place, a warmer place, with your gypsy smile and your warm embrace. Yeah, you walked into my living room, lit a fire in my fireplace, and you made my world. Yeah, you made my world. Yeah, you made my world. It warm place. Well, you said you couldn't stay, and in the morning you were gone. You said you had so much to do, when your power was turned back on. Now that fire's still softly burning in some deep and sacred space. A little dancing girl still makes my world a warmer place. A warmer place. A warmer place. With your gypsy smile, your warm embrace. Yeah, you walked into my living room, lit a fire in my fireplace, and you made my world. Yeah, you made my world. Yeah, you made my world a warm place. A warm place.
So this is in reference to being on the radio earlier, where Ben played that, and Phil said, the DJ said, "Well, isn't this concert supposed to be about the sacred? Tell me why that's sacred." To which he went, so Phil didn't like the answer. So then he asked me, and I was like, "Of course it's sacred. Of course it's sacred. There's so many things about that song that are sacred." But the main one that I want to hear, that I want to say that I hear in that, is the mirror of love that other people have given me. I'm somebody that did not feel comfortable in my incarnation, in my body, when I was born. And we all have it for different reasons. A really good reason of why you don't feel comfortable in the body is because you've got a male personality and you've got a little girl's body. And then you grow into a teenager and it gets a little bit worse because you get breasts. And then you're 18 and you fall in love with some girl, and this girl says, "You are the most handsome thing I have ever seen." And I suddenly looked in the mirror a little bit differently. Because she loved me, I began to look and see what she could see. And I began to be more present in my body. And she saw me, we are in our relationships, mirrors for each other. And then eventually she left me, and I had this incredible heartache and all that, which just opened me to start really looking about love. And we need to learn about love, and we need to learn about it by having family members and friends and partners, and then maybe children, and maybe being grandparents, and all that's in that song. Why else is the song sacred, Amy?
I think of the sacredness of domesticity, and how you come home and there's a fire pit, and one person tends it or the other person tends it, but it's always kept warm. And that the trade-off of doing that, I remember seeing my favorite wedding sermon and wedding gift ever was from a pastor, and he gave the couple a pitcher to keep in the fridge. He's like, always keep this full of fresh drinking water for each other. And when you look in the fridge, your job isn't to say who filled it last or why didn't they fill it. Your job is to fill it so that each of you always have it. And I feel the stove is the same kind of thing, where regardless of what's going on in the relationship, you come home and you feed the stove so that it's warm for both of you.
I really hope the people online are hearing this. This is good. Why else is this sacred?
And I love that you catch
Lawrence,
that.
what do you hear then?
What it reminds me of
Just be laddie and be Scottish.
It reminds me of years ago, back in the 80s, and a lot of people were touting the Course in Miracles, and they have this workbook, and there's this section in it on the holy instant versus the special relationship. And what I heard in this was, here's this ice storm, here's everything, the whole world stops. And in that instant, the quality and the purity of the gift of love and closeness and tenderness and caring for each other that has no future, it only has its now. It's wholly instant. And that it opens us, Angela Sarian used to say, the drum is the instrument to remind us that love is coming at us all the time. We just have these narrow apertures and ideas of how it should be. And sometimes, when everything stops and you have a holy instant, you realize there could be many more of these. And you still have your sustained relationships and everything else, but the day can be filled with holy instants. And you had this really rich kind of drop down into that place to realize the generosity of the divine that wants you to notice that it's loving you all the time.
Perfect. One more. James.
The magic that happens when the power goes out.
Yeah,
Because we get around the fire, which is what our ancestors did for
Yeah,
hundreds and hundreds.
absolutely. Thank you. That was so short. We got one more in it.
What I felt from this song is something I've shared for 32 years now, and that is to be with someone and be silent together for minutes or hours, but never be apart. And that's what I felt from that song.
Oh man.
And you guys are beautiful.
Like that song, see what it does.
I think we should, before we go, I think I might turn the camera around so they can see all these gorgeous souls. I have to sing a love song. It's just, they are all love songs. Thank you, Laura. They are. This is one of mine.
Oh, I love this line.
What do I have to offer? What might last the test of time? When growth and change are in our nature, my boldest words could melt like ice. I'll watch the stars with you. I'll share my life with you. What do I have to offer? What might last months and years? When I don't really own my possessions, my strongest will can change its mind. But I'll hold you through this night. I'll pour my love into you. might last the test of time. When growth and change are in our nature, my boldest words could melt like ice. I'll watch the stars with you. I'll share my life with you. I'll watch the stars with you. You know when you're in a time of darkness in your life, or grief, or whatever it is that just feels really, it's hard to see and it's hard to get your way through the days. When somebody comes along and loves you in that space, it transforms you. And one of the reasons that I love so fully is because when I was struggling, there were a bunch of people that just welcomed me into their homes and loved me and listened and had endless patience. And two of those people were my mom and dad. And after I got through that, I was like, I owe it to those people to share that love out. So that's why your song is so good.
I want to add one more. I just want to say, this is such a special experience to be here with you guys and to share our souls like this. I don't know that I've ever experienced a show like this.
That's a Simon and Voil thing.
The thing about... Oh, go ahead.
It's your first time playing with me. This is great.
Have him down to Eugene.
Yes. One other thing I'll add to the beautiful things that people said, that just to hear that coming back so beautiful is, one thing that I love about that song, and I've forgotten, all the things that you guys said are in there, but I've forgotten. But I play this song, and I remember how much I love this person. And it's such a gift to have, you know?
Yes.
Well, you know, whatever is going on with her, whatever, you know, but like,
In that moment.
I've got this prayer that I can just do, and I can not just say it, but like make a beautiful thing like that, you know. So, before I start to bawl here.
I didn't, yeah. Oh my God, I never warned you that I make people cry. Whenever I play music, people just start crying. I didn't even warn you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm what my dad calls a moist person, too. I cry at the drop of a hat. There's such a heat in my bowels when I make music. Should I do one more song?
Yeah, please do, yeah.
Ah, there you are.
Do you do encores too? I have at least one request.
Let me play this one first, and then we'll see. Oh, the stars above us twinkle. Yeah, they put on quite a show. They say the light that meets our eyes today was born 1,000,000 years ago, and it spells out quite a story in strands of DNA. The same spark that birthed the universe is born in us today. And they're already on their way, already on their way. Give thanks for unknown blessings, already on their way, already on their way, already. funhouse mirror. Sometimes you feel just like a clown. Yeah, everything's distorted. Everything seems upside down. And the truth, it just gets twisted. Like a rope gets torn free. Till you feel like you can't hold on no more. Till you just might slip away. And they're already on their way. Already on their way. Give thanks for unknown blessings. Already on their way. Already on their way. Already on their way. Give thanks for unknown blessings. Already on their way. Well, now history's a spiral. Sometimes it's hard to see through the smoke and the blood and the tear gas that it's a path of victory. Oh, it's a crooked road we walk upon, strung with miracles on the way. But like raindrops to the ocean, we'll make it there someday. And we're already on our way. Already on our way. Give thanks for unknown blessings. Already on their way. Already on their way. Already on their way. Give thanks for unknown blessings. Already on their way. Give thanks for unknown blessings. They're already on their way.
Amy, what's your request? Which song is that?
What was your request?
The little timber town and it's very generational, very ancestral.
And mine was "And the men and the women are dancing again." That one always makes me cry. How many of you guys have never heard Ben Bochner's music before?
Most people here.
Isn't it wonderful?
We're doing our encore now because I'm going to close ceremony. So let's do the encore early.
You never knew your father, but you carried him inside. It made you strong at the broken places, and somehow you survived. Just you and your mom and your family in that little timber town, getting by the best you could and watching the trees come down. Come down. Big trees come down. Little girl looking up at the stars, shine so bright from so far away. You never knew his fingers or smelled the fur pitch in his hair. You kept looking at your front door, just thinking that he might be there. In dreams sometimes you'd see him, looking like a long lost friend. But you'd always wake up crying, just listening to the rain again, rain again. To the rain again. Teardrop trickling down the window pane, tracing such a crooked path today. Whoa. Whoa. Summer soft as buttermilk, blackberries on the vine. When the sun comes out in Oregon, there's no place else so fine. Met a boy in high school, he was sweet to you. His body was so hungry, what else could you do? Could you do? What else could you do? Little girl, go outside and play. Plant a seed in the earth today. Whoa. Whoa. At first I didn't love you, tell the truth, I didn't know how. I kept thinking that I could make it through if I never got involved. But now they're shutting down the woods. Stumps don't lie, it's true. I guess that people only learn the hard way. At least this time I'll be with you, be with you. I'll be here with you. Little girl wanted that seed of love. Somebody's watching from above today. Little girl wanted that seed of love. Somebody's watching from above today.
Thank you, Ben, for coming the whole way. I wondered, can I throw you on the spot and get you to play that little refrain while I lead us on a little meditation? Yeah. So I'm going to get you to close your eyes. We open this ceremony by verbally inviting our ancestors to come to the concert and to spend time and to be close. Take a moment to really call that to mind. If you don't love your parents, honor them. Imagine them looking at you. I know there's some people that their mom is here right now, so they can just look at her. But for the rest of us, let's really imagine the expression and the tone of voice of our mom and of our father. And if that is a loving, beautiful relationship, melt into it. And if it's a hard one, breathe into it. Thank them in your mind. Thank them for coming and listening to Simon and Ben. I invite you to open your eyes and to look at the grandparent seats behind us. I'm going to do a closing song, and I'm going to do Deep Peace. And if you want to come up and be where they are, come up here behind. Come up and you'll be on camera. Come up and sing up right here. Yeah, so I invite you to come before we release our ancestors, to come into this space. I mean, obviously they're right in us, but for the sake of this gig, I put them up here. So come up here. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Come on up. I also want to name the Chimicum people, the ancestors of this land who were listening. Thank you for praying with us. Let's just take a moment and we'll be still. Ones who are present in spirit but not in body, and ones who are alive and walking around on the other side of the world. We're going to sing a blessing to you and thank you for being close to us in our hearts this evening. If you don't know the words, just sing whatever you want. This is not a show right now. This is ritual. Here we go. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the sun of peace to you. A moon and stars pour their healing light on you. La 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 la. La 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 la. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the sun of peace to you. A moon and stars pour their healing light on you. Let's sing with our full heart. La 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 la. thank you for coming. Invisible ones and ones in body. And good night. Peace be with you. So it is. Ashe and Amen. Amen.